Hello again, everybody. It's time to brave the depths of Dim Hollow Crypt, one of Dawnguard's more memorable dungeons. Has some good points, some bad points. We'll talk about both of those as I go through it. For now, Hjalti is going to be listening. Oh yes, there's things in here.
Never know when to give up. I thought we'd taught them enough of a lesson in their hall.
To come in here alone. A fool like all the rest of them.
She must mean that fellow who said he'd try to get here and be some assistance.
Get on and press off with no match.
Shame to lose him.
Ha! Those two deserved what they got. Their arrogance had become insufferable.
Hjalti pricks up his ears at this intrigue among the vampires. This is his kind of thing.
Perhaps another vigilant will wander in.
That is not. Then he's coming this way. He's going to get battle ready. So, Archmage's robes, Morokai. Winning Frost is good. A lot of vampires, if they don't use their blood drain, will use frost magic. Probably Amulet of Talos to just be able to shout all the time. I think that should be good. Oh, maybe I will also muffle myself
Hurry it up. I have
and eat Nelser Fondue.
Turn to the castle and tell
Ooh,
Harker what a fool
Healthy is
he
taking
is.
notes on these names here.
Half-a-mind to tell
Vampire intrigue. He is intrigued.
You dare. Now shut up and keep on walking.
Well, that means they'll be heading this way, so I may as well engage them on my own terms. That Death Hound out there is the one I care about. The vampires are comparative... Oh, cover. The vampires are comparatively small threat. But the Death Hound, as I've said before, will deal enormous amounts of damage. With just a vampire fledgling too, one of the weaker varieties. You know what I can do to this pile of guys here? I can do Repel Undead. That should make them all run. As I said, it's the area of effect turn undead. That one turned invisible there, as you can see. Well, not really. And I saw the gate was... Oh, I just picked up some junk I didn't mean to take up. I can see the gate is locked, so they cannot get away from me. Usually they're not that easy to see. But, oh, that one was fragile. Deathhound is cowering too, so I've got them both. All undead, including vampires, are immune to spells like Fury, so don't try that on them. Unless you have like the very, very high level illusion perk that makes them not be invulnerable to it. Here's the Slaughtered Vigilant. We'll put him out of his misery with that mutton chop beard. Some solid gear as usual for Vigilance. Not really worth its weight. Vampires often have pretty good treasure. Their armor is worth a fair amount. I did not need to pick up the vampire junk items, though. Vampire boots, yeah, no. Deathhounds don't really have anything on them. Their collars, I guess, are kind of worth it for the money, but eh. So that gate is locked. I didn't see a lever over there. I've only done this cave a couple of times in my life, maybe actually just once. So bear with me if I'm puzzling over where to go. Magic sword. Nothing particularly useful, just lightning damage. Yeah, good for its weight. Potions, I may appreciate those later. I bet that, yep, opens the gate. So, I found the way forward. I wonder, how much time do I have left on my Talos Blessing? 2 hours, okay, that's not too bad. Get through this dungeon at the very least. A lot of Dawnguard dungeons are very, very long, tediously so, but I don't think this one is quite at that size. But many enemies ahead. Kind of a typical Nord room, but half of this place is a cave, so I do kind of like the mix there. Many things in this dungeon. Not up there, so they won't ambush me. So I can kind of make a safe approach, but I don't want to be in here without a summon. Some of them are fast. Ooh, a potion. I think I see a figure standing up there. Oh, it's a weak vampire. What about these little guys, or whatever they are? Can't see where they are. Oh, well, that was a bad shot. Very weak one, though. I'm like right on top of them. Are they behind, like, some kind of rise? Oh! Oh, that's unique. New to Dawnguard. And this rise out of the ground there. Creepy and fun. But they're just skeletons. Anybody else? Not in here. Well, there's probably a treasure chest along on this dead end. I wouldn't have just put it here for no reason. Other than to scare, I guess, people who don't have Horror Whisper. A dead Draugr. Well, several entities up ahead. I like this, creepy, weird stone to these tombs. Dawnguard has lots of different, unusual kinds of things, different architecture introduced. It's not all amazing, but I just, enjoy the variety. Some dead Dawnguard. Actually dead. Probably killed by the vampires, because undead are not just one big happy family. A lot of the kinds are actually enemies to each other in this game, which I appreciate. Partly because they should be different sides, because the Draugur's job will be to guard this old tomb, and the vampires are here for some... Ooh, Death Hound. But I want to help that Death Hound lose. Other people fighting there, but the Death Hound is the important one for me to bring down. The regular old Draugur, he will not stand up long. He will, of course, resist the Death Hound's cold damage very well. Speaking of which, vampires have huge cold resistance. Say that, but they're also weak to fire, so they're really my kind of enemy. Let's see, what would it take to do a repel undead? It costs me 70. That's really not too much. Nice. Vampire's about to be annoying, turning invisible, so I'm just going to pin her down before she can do that. They're allowed to flee by turning invisible, and they will do so. He's running back the way he came. As I thought I saw, all the gates out of here are locked. Nice. That was pretty smooth. Okay, the room is not completely clean yet, so I'll watch my step in case of traps. I'll go down this passage. Draugr sleeping in a tomb, is that what I see over there? This is a very dark dungeon, but I guess a torch just lit there. Dark enough that you might actually want to use a light source for once. Alright, well in that case I'm going to do regular old turn undead on him. No sense of dual casting now that he's helpless. I don't understand why someone would build this strange caged-in tomb type thing, but what do I know? What kind of purpose did this place serve? Nothing useful? Yeah, okay, as expected. What is that? Is that some kind of magic item? Inaccessible, but... Oh, wow, magic item. It's interesting. I think I have a way to get around that. For once. I've never been here with the telekinesis spell before, but that immediately strikes me as a rare opportunity to use it. Nice. It's mine now. Double nice. Anything else around here? No enemies, so that's good. I think, well, some enemies down that way, but they're at a distance, it looks like. These passages don't seem to be trapped. Nothing on that side. Okay, no treasure in this one except for this actual obvious chest. With a master lock. Ooh, that pick was not very sturdy. There's really not a great secret to picking master locks. You just kind of got to do trial and error, get a good sense of what the spacing is like. The amount I'm doing is a pretty... there you go. And try to judge by the outside where you are. Which is hard when there's not any obvious landmarks, but you do the best you can. Kind of home in on it. Bit by bit. I'm using specks of dust on my screen actually for lack of landmarks. Yeah. Nothing amazing, but whatever. That looks like the main passage, given the enemies are there. This is probably another side route. And once again, the torch lights itself. Potions. Any traps? Disappointing. It's disappointing not to have to avoid at least one instant kill death trap per dungeon. Am I missing something? Ah, yes. I thought I saw a gleam over there. Nice. Alright, and... yes, I did not lose my bearings. Creatures in there. Probably skeletons, given their number. Maybe a blind turn going in. Maybe sort of a icky swamp and a vampire over there. Well, there's a weak vampire can take her out early. Not a weak vampire. And it's hard to stun people while they're sitting on the ground. Ooh, yeah, skeletons. Well, this seems like a good opportunity to do... Repel undead. Oop. Now, the vampire avoided it, but is now going to be left alone by her bodyguards. The Drain Blood spell does almost no damage, gives you a fair amount of mana back, so if anything, it's like a good thing. Having enemies run into the next room is not a good thing, they might alert people in there. Oh, nice dodge, sir. It's quite nimble. But luckily they're not running into the next room, they're just kind of lurking here. Skeletons often taunt... Oh, that's a tough one. Often taunt like forever. Yeah, I seem to remember Dawnguard introduced a whole lot of armored, super tough skeletons, so they're really just kind of tedious to fight through after a while. But I'm pretty high damage against these guys so far. Nice. I didn't have to get my feet icked up in this morass. I'm gonna keep it that way. Anybody else in here? No? Alright. What have you got? Vampire Dust is quite useful for turning yourself invisible. You don't have a good way out of here, except that I am the Dragonborn, and the gods gave me this power for a reason. Nice, snug, not damp boots. Who's up ahead? Nobody? Weird. Maybe I'm near the end of this section. Dead Frosted Spider. Or maybe they're cheating to go undetected. Well, what else is coming? Several things. There! That's right past my tank, huh? Another vampire. Oop. Yeah, they cheated to avoid being detected by Aura Whisper there. Must have just been triggered to only appear when he came into a certain area. Whatever, not too bad. What else is out there? Ooh, Deathhound. Alright, Atronach, I'm definitely depending on you to tank this one. Ooh, scary. The Atronach probably can't do it alone, especially because I think I hear a second one over there. So that's going to be unpleasant in a second. I made to drink some potions. One down. Can I turn the other one, perhaps? That'd be a good solution. I think I'm going to equip my Fusro Dash up when the Atronach dies. Then, how much magic do I need for this thing? Nice. Those guys do heavy, heavy damage. Now, with my Resist Frost Boots, Atronach Stone, magic resistance galore, all of that, I can certainly survive their bites once or twice. But they'd still do hefty damage, and I don't want to deal with that. I don't know how hefty, I just don't feel like taking that risk. Especially because, like, you know, there's some chance I could actually make a mistake and get bit twice or something like that. I seem to recall they attack pretty fast. Well, my Atronach will know better than I do where it is, so I'm going to conjure another Atronach. There it is. Because it will be unturned soon. I think turn only lasts... yeah, 30 seconds. Not so great, but good enough. Oh yeah, here it comes. And you can see that this is the one the Atronach was attacking most of the time, and of course was doing fire damage to too, but it still only lost like a third of its hit points before it killed the Atronach. It didn't even have much help from the guy in behind, because I was stunning that guy. No help. Okay, well, I don't trust anything anymore, because these guys, you know, avoided my Aura Whisper before. Oh, Vampire must have tried to raise that guy. All vampires have a couple of powers. They can raise the dead, they can turn invisible, they can do their life drain spell. So they must have tried to raise a dead Frosted Spider, and then it disintegrated when the vampire died. There's... whatever it is with the glowing eye, it's dead. Treasure chest. Ooh, glad to have one of those again. Used most of those up in the Zolf before.
What was that?
Ooh. What was that indeed? Oh, guy's caged in. This guy's Frosted Spider fighting a Master Vampire? Okay. That's both of them are tough enemies. Let me check how much Elsewhere Fondue time I have left. Magica, 29 seconds, it's about to wear off. Well, I'll open that. I will conjure this Atronach in there to injure both of them. The vampire will probably win, because he can lifesteal and it can't. So I want to turn things against him. I don't want to literally turn him, because if I do that, then he'll probably turn himself invisible, the Frostless Fighter will fight me, and it'll suck. Nice. Alright, how injured is it? It's pretty badly injured. I'm going to switch to Fushro Dawn in case it tries to get on top of me. It's probably going to kill the Atronach fairly soon. Oh, nice. Good work. Yeah, it's like Black and Bleak Falls Barrow after all this time. Where'd that Master Vampire go? I wonder if he had something important on him. And I missed where his corpse fell. Ah, there we are. Hidden under the webs. No, nothing important. Getting pretty loaded up on stuff I'm carrying. And what was down this balcony? Anything important? Oh, it's where I was before. Okay. Well, here's a new section of the ruins. Again, cool, creepy statues here, new kinds of architecture. Hjalti's immediately suspects these guys are going to come alive and attack him because he grew up in Daggerfall where gargoyles are native. But, no. He'll be on alert. He knows their tricks.
I'll never tell you anything, vampire. I oath to Stendar is stronger.
Is Stendar pushing alive on him?
On.
I better try to sneak up and see if I can rescue them.
I believe you.
Oh, this is that low-kill fellow who was mentioned.
Know what you found here.
What is this
So
lever?
go and meet your
I don't
beloved.
think I should try it.
Are you sure that was wise,
Killed him?
Lokiel? He still might have told us something.
Blast.
We haven't gotten anywhere ourselves with nothing.
He served his purpose by leading us to this place. Now it is up to us.
This place
to
is a strange one.
rise, and we will not return without it. Vingalmo and Orthion will make way for me.
Ooh, well, Hjalti's again listening intently.
Yes, of course, Lokiel. Do not forget who brought you news of the Vigilance discovery.
I never forget who my friends
But we don't know her name.
or my enemies.
Well, they're scattered down there. It looks like 3 targets. Not like these gargoyle statues, but if I can take a pot shot from up here, get one in the weakened, find out how strong they are. But that one's pretty badly injured. These can have a long way to go to get them. Well, it's worth a shot there. One of them's going to be coming up here soon. So I can tank in this narrow passageway. And here's that local. How tough is he? Whoa! He's going directly for me, huh? But he's not that tough. Ah, I didn't fly off the balcony. And he didn't get stunned then. How is he avoiding my stuns? Sorry. Well, he's not that tough, though. Can I cast this thing yet? No? Uh-oh. This is bad. He's too powerful. Okay. Well... where's that one? Lost track of him, that is bad. Ooh, they're raising the dead. Okay. I think I'm going to retire back in here for a moment, pull out my Atronach spell again, recast it once that one drops, which it will soon. That fight went bad pretty fast. Yeah. Going directly for me again for a second there. So it's always good to focus on one vampire if you can, and just bring it down, because otherwise they'll use their superior life-stealing abilities to make the fight take forever. Can I push you off the cliff? That's what I really want to do here. Yes! Worked. Hopefully it'll actually kill her. Nice! Humor value of that was pretty high. Right. What else is coming up here? Ooh, vampire cell. Those are actually alive, so you can do things like fury them, but this guy seems to be too weak to be of any use. Where's the next one? No, he's stuck or something? Well, I guess you did literally take some of it, but... yeah, my Atronach is being dumb, but so is he. I think we've got him. No, there he goes. Now he's smart enough to know how to run. Keep tabs on him with that.
The Atronach will use its AI super senses to know exactly where he is.
We got him. Well, I don't know where the other corpse landed, but his is probably the most important one.
Lost!
Gargoyles still not coming alive? I'm watching you. Where did he go? I know you're around here somewhere. You didn't fall off that cliff, did you? This corpse might have something important on. I hope not. This place is annoyingly dark. Alright. Let me risk a little more light. Ah, luckily his sword counts as his body. Oh, well there's nothing on him anyway. Well, this is a strange, unsettling, secluded place. Take that book and read that. Notes on Dim Hollow Crypt X, Volume 3. I guess notes number 10, volume. I don't get it. As written by Adalvald. Divines be praised. Here at last is the breakthrough I have been seeking. All the dangers I have escaped, the traps I have eluded. There really weren't any traps. It was disappointing. And the foul Draugr I've avoided have brought me at last to this. In my previous volume of notes and observations regarding Dim Hollow Crypt's possible connections to the ancient vampire clans of Skyrim's history, which we disappointingly find out nothing about, Morrowind had vampire clans. This game doesn't. I wrote of a great chamber, far larger than anything else I've yet seen here in the crypt. Alas, a few wandering Draugr forced me to retreat to the earlier passages of the crypt, thus depriving me of an opportunity to study this huge cavern. Well, praise be to Stendarr, for as I write this, I have just spent nearly a full day exploring that very cavern. It was a risk that proved more than worth it, because what I found in that chamber nearly defies description. Central to this huge cavern is an island of stone and a subterranean lake. We saw that, it was pretty cool. Upon this island is something I can only describe as an elaborate ceremonial construction surrounded by stone columns linked by arches. There is no mistaking the stark contrast in architecture here. No ancient Nords made this stonework. Yeah, I pointed out it is different and intriguing. Here, too, were more of the gargoyle statues that I first glimpsed in earlier passageways. There is no Draugr burial site in Skyrim that contains these statues save Dim Hollow Crypt. Indeed, I am now certain that the strange construct in this main chamber was built long after the crypt, and by wholly different masters. It really can't have been long after the crypt. In fact, that doesn't make any sense at all. It has to be quite shortly thereafter. These must be the same builders who placed the gargoyles through the crypt, perhaps to frighten away the curious. All signs seem to indicate that the masons who crafted these strange arches were servants of some ancient master who favored necromancy or vampirism. The style and craftsmanship in the stonework are not only distinct in terms of design, seeming to speak of an entirely different culture than that of the old Nord peoples. This makes no sense at any point in the story, because these guys were Nords who were making this. But also in skill with which they were fashioned. The cutting and shaping of the stone, for example, suggest more sophisticated tools than the crypt's original architects would have possessed. Although I feel a sense of exhilaration that my theories have at last been confirmed beyond any shadow of a doubt, I am also disappointed at the lack of answers. How long ago were these new features added to the crypt, and by whom, and for what purpose? On one point I have no doubts. I must return to the Hall of the Vigilant and share these findings with my brothers and sisters. When they see what I have discovered with their own eyes, they will no longer scoff at my theories or mock my endeavors. When that is done, I will turn to my work. For now, Dim Hollow Crypt might be a mystery, but by Stendarr, I will see that mystery solved. Well, I'll take that with me. It sounds like nobody else will really be coming here, because the vigilants who came here were destroyed. And the vampires who came here were destroyed. This is a vast, empty subterranean lake. Seems like a good place to dispose of some evidence that I never want to see the light of day. Well, I think I'm going to dispose of this, which is stolen so I can't sell it, and the contract out for my life, and that too. Mysterious notes as well. And out of character, I want to get rid of some of this junk that I've been carrying around for in-character reasons, but can't actually put away in a way that would make sense. So I never want to use this again out of character, so I'm just going to get rid of it here, but we should assume in character that I've actually hidden away somewhere that I can retrieve it from. I also don't think I'm going to be using Ysgrimor's soup spoon, but again, we should assume that Hjalti is keeping these somewhere safe as special treasures. No longer really need a minor maze. Ingredients, food, scrolls. these are kind of incriminating now that I don't have another Dark Brotherhood bounty out on my head. So I will drop them off and rely upon my... Well, certainly I dropped that one. It's useless without the mask. Those two. I may well keep the hood and shoes. Those could be useful. The shoes just are practical, and the hood I can use to cover my face, and I don't want to have that particular mask, which is kind of distinctive. Well, well, well. Anything else that I can dispose of here? Some heavy gear that I need to offload when I get to town. Yeah, screw it. Gonna get rid of... Alright, well, these things didn't actually fall, so... Oh, pfft. Lost forever, all of them. Well, this bridge could well be trapped, but nothing so far. Now here comes... It's not quite a puzzle, just kind of an annoying nuisance. It reminds me, if anything, of like the pseudo-puzzles that Final Fantasy X wasted your time with. First character to do something very stupid here. Yeah, I'm just going to push this button. That seems like something Hjalti would do. Oh look, it ruined my hand for life. But no, apparently I'm just fine. Creepy purple flames, which do nothing. But basically you now have to just push some of these pedestal things around into the flames. It doesn't really make any sense what you're doing. You kind of slide them along these grooves. You just need to kind of move them to the end of the flames for some reason, which causes them to extend elsewhere, and that's apparently a good thing. So like I said, not really a puzzle, just kind of something silly you have to go through, which is very confusing for a first-time player. I remember just being baffled at what was even going on here the first time I was playing this, but wasn't having any fun figuring it out, because it's not really tricky, it's just silly. One more? Okay. Hjalti doesn't like this. What is going on here?
Lost!
Something. Well, it could be very useful to me, whatever it is. Fine. Something died here. Should be cautious, but confident. What? Oh! But Hjalti makes a split-second decision to...
I won't put on the hood, don't want whoever is in there to know that I'm Dark Brotherhood. Probably won't put on the mask either. I'm not here doing anything nefarious. Don't want that double life of mine to become known. So, they can see his face. He'll kill him if he needs to.
Doesn't anybody know about his double life? Clearly a vampire.
Where is... Who sent you here?
I'll see if I can learn anything useful from her.
I was expecting someone... like me, at least.
Now, it's obvious she's a vampire, so I'm going to assume that this, in character, he means something more intelligent, like, you know, where in the world do you come from? Why were you in there?
Can't you tell just from looking at me? A vampire.
But we have to go with this dumb option. And from now on, we're just forced to go through branch after branch of stupid dialogue with her. They just railroad you into doing dumb things, like not killing her like you should, and not finding anything useful out, putting up with her nonsense as she railroads you around and makes you do out-of-character things. Well, I should just, like, beat you down until you tell me what's going on here, because I certainly can't trust you. You're an ancient vampire locked away. Again, stupid options. Fake choices that make you all do the same thing.
By the way, my name is Serana. Good to meet you.
If you're maximally nice to her the entire way through, you can get some different options at the very end, but no way to know that, and no reason that you should.
Yes, it is. And it's mine.
And I should have the option here to just, like, take it, but whatever.
It's complicated.
Like, I have no reason
I
to
can't
trust this
really
person.
talk
She's
about it.
clearly,
I'm sorry.
almost certainly, evil than the other vampires should to be locked away. Something mysterious going on here, but I have no option but to just listen to her, trust her. She delivers me away to her, dangerous family home.
Good question. Hard to say. I can't really tell.
And this is where they break her background in half and make it not make any sense.
Who is Skyrim's High King? Oh, wonderful. A war of succession. Good to know the world didn't get boring while I was gone. Who are the contenders? Empire? What?
No
What
sense.
Empire?
Pretty much as long as there have been High Kings, there has been an empire in Cyrodiil. There's like a 1 century gap where that wasn't the case.
Cyrodiil is the seat of an empire? I must have been gone.
If you
longer
said,
than
like,
I
you know,
thought.
again,
Definitely longer
maybe we
than
could assume she was late in the first year or something like that,
Please,
but no.
let's
For
hurry.
her to be baffled by
We need
the
to get
very
home so I
concept
can
suggests
figure
that she
out
was
what's
before the first Cyrodiilic Empire, the Alessian Empire that is, and that makes no sense because in that case she would have been one of the ancient Nords at the exact same time as the Dawnguard tomb was being built up, so...
It's on an island near Solid.
And she tells us nothing further, and I can't press her for any more important information about this obvious trap I'm being lured
It's my
into, full of
family.
vampires.
Not the most welcoming place, but depending on who's around, I'll be safe there.
Yeah, but will I? That's much more important, and I can't even
Let's
ask
just say
that.
My mother and father had a bit of a falling out. Don't worry, I'm not in any...
So really, they just kind of like assume that you will like this character and force you to act as though you do, but I have always, both in and out of character, just loathed everything about this character, and being forced to put up with her for the entire Dawnguard questline is the worst thing about it.
I'd rather not get into that with you, if that's alright.
It's not alright. It's absolutely
sorry, it's
unacceptable.
not-
There's no reason for me to put up with that.
It's just that I don't
All I
know
need
if
from
I
her is
can trust
information.
yet.
And I have no reason to
Let's
trust
get to
her.
my home, and I'll
But
have
again,
better
you're just forced to
sense
put up with
where
this
we all stand.
garbage. She is like fake follower commands that she won't actually do.
Your guess is as good as mine. This place looks pretty different from when I was locked away.
That doesn't make any sense. Whatever. Alright. Well, so I'm stuck with a follower now, which I usually won't use, but this case is not optional, so I'll simply try to get her over with. That must be where I came from. I do something to lose my bearings in here. So this is the new area. Gargoyle statues. Now, Artwhisper Readiness does not detect them, but they will
Who's there?
suddenly break free. So Artwhisper does not detect them until then. There are some ways that you can detect them, which is good, because gargoyles are really obnoxious. Obnoxious enough I may even eat another Ellsworth fondue for this. Alright, let me conjure a Frost Atronach when they get closer.
Sure, I heard something.
You're an idiot. Gargoyles, really annoying enemies. They're pretty sturdy. They resist all physical attacks, not magic. But more importantly, I don't want to send that one any further. More importantly, they absorb health with their claws. So if they're attacking you, they're healing up very fast. They're melee only. Oh, wrong Atronach. Melee only, but
Who's there?
Serana, they're right there, you idiot. So I cannot allow them to get away with attacking, or they'll just stonewall us forever. Where'd the other one go? The Frost Atronach does decent melee damage and also has a Frost over time aura. Yeah, I think just to get this over with, I will eat another Ellsworth fondue. I'll even drink some potions. Got some new magical ones. Just to keep him stun locked. Switch to Fushro Da. Keep him stun locked. Ah, couldn't trust my aim then. Where did we go? Serana is not a great follower because her DPS is pretty weak. Got one drain health back. Come on, guys, let's pulverize it. I should hope so. They drop random gems and ore and whatnot. So, you know, whatever. Anyway, so tedious, obnoxious opponents, and terrible for melee fighters because they have this obnoxious charge attack they can do, which goes pretty far and hits pretty wide, so there's really no way to dodge it if you start getting close to them. It is like really telegraphed, but just goes so far that you cannot avoid it cleverly. So you gotta fight them at range. Like, too many enemies in this game, they're just kind of helpless at range, devastating in melee. Okay. You see they're solidly fast, but not like amazingly so. So you don't need to worry about them chasing you down and murdering you. Are you not? You not seeing this? It's such an idiot, Serana. Can't get a good shot. It seems to be stuck over there. That's good for us.
You're not going to
No.
keep me in here.
Now it's down there. Moving pretty fast through the water there. Don't know if it has a way up, but I guess we better go find it and dispose of it. These guys are such a bore to fight. Okay, can I take a shot at them from up here? Where's he? Now he's underwater. Okay. It is so dark in here. I'm kind of cautious about summoning against these guys because the summon's mindless will go into melee with them, which makes it easy for the gargoyle to then start draining their health. Come on, give me that straight shot I'm waiting for. Come on. The association between gargoyles and vampires is pretty arbitrary and random. I don't seem to recall there being one in Daggerfall the last time gargoyles appeared, I think. They're just kind of generic monsters there. They're, I think, only vulnerable to mithril weapons, which were written out of the story after Daggerfall. Out of the universe, that is. Daggerfall should basically be considered non-canon at this point, more or less. Everything in it was changed by Morrowind and so forth. Rewrote all the lore. So... Anything else up here? But there's more enemies ahead. Sharana is not bugging this time, that's nice. A lot of times she kind of freezes in place and won't walk with you. The solution is to use the console to disable and enable her again. But the mandatory follower should not be as buggy as she is. Well, there must be a lot of Draugr skeletons in here. Let's get an Atronach. Not coming out yet, huh? Alright. Can't fool me. I think they only pop out when I get in pretty deep or something. Where's Sirana? Is she doing what I was saying she sometimes says? Sirana... Are you stuck somewhere? Making me babysit you to just get you through basic tasks? Where did she go? Oh, up there, okay. Weird. Come on. Let's get this over with, so we can end our partnership and I can move on with my life. She also makes just a bunch of random commentary around this. It's supposed to probably be, you know, enriching the experience, but none of it really makes sense in character because, again, her background is garbage and contradicts lots of existing lore. Get up here so we can start the fight. No, I'm not popping out just yet. I know you guys are in there. Okay, well, is there a gate over there I need to walk towards? What will cause this thing? Okay, locked gates. There must be some way to unlock it. That probably also unlocks the Draugr in there. There we are. Predictable. Weak little Draugr. Stronger one. Maybe I'll give that guy a turn. Crowd control is important in big rooms like this. Oh, those are just skeletons in there? Okay. Are you in melee? It's hard to tell. This might be scarier without the glowing eye. Because the glowing eyes always give their location to it. Well, I guess that fight is over. There's probably a boss chest in here somewhere. Probably. No, maybe not. Okay. Well, I think I sense enough guys to make one more fight up ahead. Yep. Maybe that's the boss room. Oh, they're still fighting. Okay. Let's get it over with. Oh, she's alerted the entire contents of the room in here. Well, like all vampires, she can cast the basic vampire spells. I don't think you can turn her. That'd be hilarious if you could, but I think she's too strong. Might even just be here. Oh, a mere skeleton. She's raising the dead over there. Oh, it's one of the tough skeletons. More entities of some kind. There's probably a boss Draugr up there on that throne, I guess.
Done and done. Who's there? I knew
I would think you'd be able to keep track of your own Draugr, but apparently not.
Where'd you...
Okay, so we got a powerful Draugr here. gonna resummon that. Definitely want to keep using fire and not frost against these guys because they don't resist fire and they do resist frost. I'm gonna keep our summons alive as long as possible. So while they're around, of course, we're dishing out more damage. Is he immune to my stuns? Yeah, he's immune to stuns. That's not a thing you're supposed to be able to do. I don't know what his summon is doing over there. But... Probably good to get another summon in here. Just this one crazy lady. Yeah, it's immune to my stuns. Well, I'm glad I found that out now instead of me being in melee with it finding that out. So, fairly long but fairly easy fight. It's doing Frost Breath from time to time. That's its shout. Which is moderately powerful, I guess. But I resist Frost pretty well. So I'm done to worry about it. She'll raise another undead servant at some point, I'm sure. I don't know why I'm still dual casting that, I'm just not thinking apparently. I wonder what kept this flame burning the entire time. I never really noticed this like weird altar of like dead, burned up people. I got this Frost Breath again. It's hard not to dual cast sometimes. This button could be pushed like half a second apart. Serana, you can see, is a very good tank against them because you can keep draining health to stay alive. We nearly got it. Despite my Atronach not participating this time. Oh, word wall. I think it's one of the Dawnguard new shouts. Let's see if I remember that correctly. We're gonna... Yeah, I was right. The Atronach stole the kill. Yeah, it's not really worth its weight. So, this is not really a great shout, but I guess it is a usable one. It does something unusual. So, Drain Vitality, basically you can eventually steal stamina, health, and magic from your opponent with one shout. It's not amazing, the cooldown is long, but it's usable. That's worth its weight. But I am pretty near my carrying capacity limit. This is, again, a very cool room. This dungeon has lots of cool locations, interesting things to find and look at, although it is a little too dark to admire all of them. But
I just hate Serana's character. And some parts of the dungeon are kind of obnoxious, like the parts where they have undetectable enemies pop out of literally nowhere, or the tedious fight against the gargoyles. Although that's not a problem with this dungeon in particular. Gargoyles are just sucky enemies to have in the game. They'll only become more aggravating as the game goes on.
This weather is incredible.
well, we need to get down the mountain. Now we have a destination that is a very long way off. Absurdly, obnoxiously remote. Over here. The exact opposite side of Skyrim from the Dawnguard fortress, too. So, because this quest forces you to go back and forth between the two of them a ton, it's just like a vast amount of tedious walking back and forth, unless you have the, unless you just fast travel it. Which I won't be doing much of, except for places I've already been to many times. Well, I want to go mostly west. I'm trying to get back to the path to the Lordstone to show that to you guys. But, come out a different part of the mountain than I'm used to. So. People fighting up there. It looks like one of them's like a Atronach or something? That's weird. But let me switch my circlet on now that I've taken out more attacks and not getting away who I am.
Where'd you
Atronach must have killed his witch or something. Interesting. Just a random encounter. Well, I exaggerate when I say interesting, I guess, but unusual to encounter here. That shrine up there, that Daedra shrine you can see, that's the one for Mehrunes Dagon. Well, I can't loot you now because Serana has raised you from the dead. That's annoying. Alright, so as I said, the Lordstone is the second best stone in the game for mage characters, but you should always stick with the Atronach for a mage. For warrior characters, the Lordstone eventually becomes a better stone once you hit 50% or so magic resistance. It'll give you more protection plus give you armor. So, a better deal at that point.
Lost!
The path that I mentioned before at the market leads right up here if you follow it instead of going into the cave. There's usually some bandits on watch around here, or sleeping. Still have your summon with you? There she is. We should be fighting each other now.
Where'd you come from?
You idiot.
You must die.
I wonder if I can calm him in the middle of a fight where we're killing his allies. I wonder if that works. It does. Interesting. Will he stay out of the fight?
Never should have come. Where'd you...
He does. Okay. Well, interesting experiment there.
Mind yourself with that fire. Don't
I could
burn
shout him
anything
down though to his
now.
death and it'd be hilarious.
Need something? You picked a bad time to get lost, friend.
So that breaks their calm, but doesn't make them understand what in the world is going on. Alright. Now I can loot this body. As it disintegrates to ash, but apparently still houses clothes that have simply vanished. So yeah, I won't be switching to the Lord's Stone, but it is a darn good alternative to the Atronach for a character who already has a pile of magic resistance. Yeah, I already have too much stuff. I'll stroll down there into the outskirts of Morthal. I will not actually go into Morthal, because walking around there with a vampire... Well, apparently, actually, the citizens of Morthal won't suspect a thing, because we know there's a vampire already living in there. No, a wolf, or something like it. Oh, worse than that. Snowy saber cats are much more dangerous than the regular old variety. Massive damage. Quite possibly would be instant killing me. So I have to rely upon Kind's peace. You see that saber cats are not that durable. They're just massively damaging. Not fragile either, but no. Not as tough as like a bear. They just do more damage. I believe in the wild, in the few places where both bears and tigers are found in the same places, tigers, like some eastern parts of Siberia, are known to prey on the bears in those regions. But in Skyrim, bears are ascendant. Well, I'm puzzling whether to go through Morthal with this vampire on tour or not. Clearly the citizens do not recognize vampires, but I also wouldn't want that vampire to link up with this vampire I've got and make things worse. Wouldn't want to bring like a vampire plague on those stupid townsfolk.
Lost!
So probably best avoid the town. Much so I'd like to rest somewhere. I've lost track of the actual path here, so I'm just strolling over the mountainside. Which I don't like to do normally because it feels like less than ideal role-playing. Mining town down there. I think I've strolled through this place on my first trip to Morthal. Yeah, I don't want to be sleeping with a vampire.
Lost!
Either figuratively or literally. So, I'll keep moving along. You guys... Just out of curiosity, you're all alive, right? Yes? Okay. You never know these days, apparently. Alright, well, a passing glance will probably not reveal her to be a vampire. So, long trek west coming up. I should be detecting life in case of ambushes. I'm quite near Labyrinthian again, too. That's the mountain overlooking Labyrinth that has a dragon shrine upon it. Ooh, there's an enemy of some kind there. Who could these people... Oh, Thalmor, with a poor prisoner. Well, I know how this is going to end. Silly spells. This.
This doesn't concern...
Doesn't it now? I've got some stuff I can give him. How about... Do I have any armor? Take some vampire armor. I don't know if I'll put that on. I'll definitely equip weapons. And go nuts. Even if that guy doesn't go wild and attack his allies, he will be attacked by them. So, he's hard to see where he's currently. Nice. Might be able to save that guy, might not. Oop, not what I want to do. I'm going to try to save him. Let's see. Healing hands or heal other? Am I now? Well, she's given away that she's a vampire, using her obvious vampire powers there. I'll run off with my glass mace, but I can part with that. Where'd the other one go? Ah. I wouldn't mind having some friends among the Stormcloaks. Just a deer on the path labyrinthian. Probably also just a deer. Very pretty snowy wood region here. I really just adore Skyrim's setting in terms of... Oh. Good, didn't actually want to kill it. I thought it was like a skeever. I would have kind of fired before I fully grasped what I was looking at. So, we're railroading to taking Serana everywhere, doing whatever stupid thing she says, not questioning her, putting up with all her nonsense, trusting her even though she's a monster, not killing her even though we're Dawnguard characters at this point. That's guaranteed. You're a Dawnguard character. Need to find somewhere I can sleep. For now, he's just going to... oh, yeah, it's the bait for the dog. Nah. Need that, and that, and that. You could use a stiff drink. Friendlies. Multiple friendlies. Just what I don't need to see right now. What are they? Are they Imperials? Oh, the noblemen and so forth. Let's go around the road and not be spotted by them. And you ran right by. Anyway, besides that, the long journeys you have to do just traveling on foot to absurdly remote regions that were made remote for no good reason is also just kind of obnoxious. Fort Dawnguard would probably be somewhere more convenient because it's meant to be like a fort that people are going to be fighting vampires from out of, so it probably should be located, if not centrally, at least not in the most remote corner of Skyrim, far away from everything else. This castle's location that we're about to go to doesn't make any sense either. I mean, it should be remote, yes. But, like, the problem is that, while remote by land, it is located right along the coast, by which all seed trade from western Tamriel flowing to the major port city of Solitude will go right by. Yet somehow nobody knows about it. I think that stone over there is the apprentice, yeah, out in the marsh. Which I've said before is not worth it. Fun, because it gives you massive magic regeneration, but not worth it, because it makes you so vulnerable to magic. This fort over here is infested with evil mages, so I'm going to equip my muffle spell and creep on by, hopefully undetected. Getting that illusion up. I want to get to 50 when I can, because there's a useful perk you can gain at that level. Filthy's going to have to press on without sleep, it seems, which is bad, because he can't sleep with this crazy woman around him, and he can't take her into town either, when she won't disguise herself. Maybe you can talk to her and reason with her.
Yes. And go where? You can't just leave me alone whenever you feel like it.
I totally can.
Like it or not.
But no, we're forced to put up with her. She also won't trade items with us or anything like that. Can't sleep with her around because who knows what she'd do to him. Can't take her into town. But luckily, he can just stay hopped up on drugs and stimulants like moon sugar that will keep him awake as long as necessary. Like he needed an excuse. Friendly over there, but I can't really talk to friendlies right now. Oh yes, this orc who wants to die. Well, too bad. He's a moderately tough combatant, and he cheats in some way, haven't been able to figure out for his damage. He does not follow standard damage calculations. Maybe it has like a secret perk boosting or something, I don't know. I think there's an evil necromancer over there. I wish I could just like hire him to keep watch while I take a nap. But can't do so. Trust him more than Serana here. An ancient vampire locked up in there, probably lying about how long she was locked up in there, because what she says makes no sense. If other vampires sealed her away, then like who knows how bad she is. Simply like, trust her implicitly and like put my life in her hands like this is unjustifiable. Not even like, actually following up on the questions she refuses to, answer that are kind of critical to all this. Well, I think there's a path over the mountains, so I'll be taking that one. Dragon's Bridge, unfortunately, is like the only bridge through town, but hopefully everybody's still asleep. So hopefully I can just go on by and nobody will notice. The Penitus Oculatus are based here, so if you do destroy the Dark Brotherhood questline, you go here to talk to the leader of the Penitus Oculatus, who's the Emperor's head bodyguard, who then tells you where to finish off the Dark Brotherhood once and for all. It's apparently public knowledge. Oh, great. Oh, there's just chickens and whatnot. Okay, we'll be alright. How far behind did she get left? Hopefully not too far. Oh, jeez. Okay. So I need to find where the path turns west. I've never really traveled in this region before, but it looks like you can go around the mountain that way. That'll be one path through. The Shrine of Meridia is there. I have the beacon for that. That's why it's showing up already. And you can get the excellent sword Dawnbreaker there, but of course I'm not a sword fighting character. Any kind of warrior character, without exception, to do that quest ASAP and get that sword, because it's better than any other sword that's available at this point in the game. Like, even at this point, like, level 20 something gets better. What is it? Oh, jeez. These poor guys. The toast. So to kill them all, I won't get to have my amulet. It will rip that Atronach in half. Well, it won't end well for us if these guys... Okay, they're cowering behind her. She uses her vampire powers. That'll be terrible. So I think I need to just end this fight using my Dragonborn powers. As long as they don't know that she's a vampire. We're good. But they're going to hang out next to... Well, that is their loss at this point. I've done what I could to save them. If they're so drunk that they hang out with a cave bear, I can't protect them from everything. Another person on the road. There's often Thalmor around here. But these are Imperial soldiers. You guys go over the road. It's all yours. Maybe if I put away my hand... Okay, good. She put away her stupid, obvious giveaway vampire blood magic at least. No effort to disguise yourself. I think we're coming up on the Steed Zone here. A lot of people think the Steed Zone's a good idea. They are all wrong. It's terrible. Gives you a substantial carrying capacity bonus, which I guess is nice, but not needed, because you can see I've never really run out of carrying capacity. Even if you're looting a whole lot of stuff, like well beyond where you need money, you won't run out of carrying capacity. Alright, well there's no creepy castle listed on that road sign. There's a Nord ruin around here that has a dragon priest in it. It's a moderately fun one, I think. I've only done it once, back when I was collecting all the dragon priest masks. Lots of the dragon priest quests are pretty cool, and I like how they're hidden all across Skyrim, and you probably won't find them all in one playthrough. Unless you're looking things up, obviously. We'll be going to that fort later on for an Imperial questline, but I don't want to go there for now, so I won't. Always scouting. You never know what kind of terrible animal will jump out at you. Well, that trip wasn't too bad so far. I don't really know, which exact direction to take from here. Yeah, it's still a ways off. It looks like the road leads more or less directly there, which again kind of detracts from the notion this is like a hidden secret castle. But whatever. Its hugeness also detracts from that. Yeah, I think that is the Nord Road. I forget what it's called, but I believe that is the one that has the dragon priest in it. In this very remote wild area. Well, a snowy saber cat. I think I don't want to leave that thing behind me. Ice magic is very ineffective against them. Oh, no you don't. You're not going for me. Did you just pounce on the air there? Alright. I think we've got him locked down pretty well here. Running around. Let's go. Yep. Yeah, going for her. That's what I want. I hate these things, so I'll just rip the skin off its body. That'll teach it. Yeah, human and a dog? Hunter, maybe? Alright.
That
Another
spell looks
cave.
dangerous.
I've spent enough time
See ya.
around myself, but if you want to go in, I'm right behind you.
Nope, that sounds like a good spot for an ambush. So does this snow. But I have my ways. Is it a wolf or a deer? Or a goat. I knew that. This region is also where there's a Thalmor fortress, where you go for a miscellaneous quest. So that I probably won't be doing, but no. Surely just seems to be startled by everything we come across, no matter how obvious it was. In Oblivion, vampires had this fantastic detect life spell that was probably like the best perk of being a vampire, in fact, because you could just cast it all the time. It was amazing.
Who's there?
No, can't tell what this is. Some kind of mage. Just generic conjurer? Okay. Casting up her ward too fast, but missed her chance there, so now I've got her. Why? Pause there for a second. Alright. She hasn't done her own summon for some reason. I can't tell if she's a dark elf or not in this poor light. But she's done her own summon. She's restored my magic a fair amount. If I can get around behind her to where she can't ward easily, I think I can finish her off. Need to prevent her from actually healing herself, though. That's the main hazard. Nice. And again, people's summons are dispelled when the summoner dies. Well, creepy old tower. Getting close there. Are those saber cats in there? Surely there can't be two saber cats in there. But I cannot risk leaving these things behind if I need to make a quick getaway from this place. I can't tell what they are. So, Atronach up there. And I'll equip Kind's Piece for my shout. And if there's snowy saber cats, ordinary tactics will not work. But this
Where'd you come from?
might well. They can fight each other now. Or not. Hopefully they'll start fighting each other. Yeah, there we go. Alright, that one's pouncing the other one. Hopefully they'll change targets. Ooh, I don't like having that one left almost completely unharmed. But you can see they rip each other in half fast, even. Alright, let's get things balanced out. Yep. So much for that. Which way is it going? It's sad that it just murdered its own mate. Don't get any closer to me. Just about got it. If you're gonna raise the dead, this is the thing to raise, Serana. Just gonna lock in place, draining it. Like an idiot. Okay. Oh, there's an orc stronghold here. I didn't remember that. I wonder which one it is. So Sabercats moved in here while some guy's soup was still hot, ate him alive, and who even knows? Whatever. Serana, I would say I'm sorry, but I'm not. So, there's the creepy old castle. And I don't know if the path eventually leads down to it, but I guess at this point I may as well turn off of this path before it leads me any further that way. You know, I'm just going to follow it to the end. I'm going to see if there's a switchback, because I've never come this way before. So, exploration. See what Skyrim is like. Does the path switch back down? It'd be cool if there's a road leading directly here, silly though it would be. That's the Sea of Ghosts out there. The entire Northern Ocean, I believe, is called the Sea of Ghosts. An ominous name for a very dangerous ocean. At Mora, the ancient human continent, it lies across there somewhere, but it's lost now. Well, what is this? Weird. Where does the path go? Is that just the end of it? Just leads to that spot? How strange. Well, down I go, I guess. So, huge creepy vampire castle. Now, I mean, I love castles, and I don't really like vampire stories much, but you know, whatever. Vampires and castles, they go together. I'm okay with that. But I just feel like this doesn't really make sense in universe. Doesn't match up to anything else about Skyrim. Doesn't fit the setting very well. And it was a big. Is that Snowy Sabercat over there, or a Horker? It's a Horker. Okay. It's a huge waste too, because up until this game, we were told that every province's vampires were very different from each other. I think they go to this dock over here to get to the castle. We're told that they all have different powers, they all have different appearances, all different stuff like that. Only in like Cyrodiil were the vampires kind of more like generic vampires. But now in Skyrim, the vampires are supposed to be like ghosts that reach through lakes to like, you know, grab down passerby, or just like, they're just generic vampires. They're noblemen like Count Dracula and have generic vampire powers, and they also turn into giant monsters. That's new for this, but so missed opportunity to have all that cool vampire lore followed up on. But that's not really the fault of this game in particular. Elder Scrolls just kind of stopped following its own lore about that stuff because it's probably not convenient enough, not easy enough to do. Where is that little jetty out there I need to get to? I guess that's the boat. So I gotta walk around past this place. Is this the Thalmor Fortress? Wow, if the Thalmor are operating right next to the most ancient and dangerous vampire castle in Skyrim, that would be a whole new level of silly.
I am not getting my feet wet. Hjalti will willingly brave dragonfire, frostbite, cobwebs, and Serana's endless prattling, but he will not get those boots wet. I mean, even besides the fact they'd freeze solid in this miserable climate, and his feet with them, they just take forever to dry out. They're all squishy and gross until then. No way.
So much for leaving my path clear. Fighting something else over there? Oh yeah, this is the Thalmor place. So that's weird and setting inappropriate, but whatever. Did I miss him? Where's Serana? I didn't need her back up right now, because he's going to kill that astronaut very soon. What shot do I have ready? Found piece? Okay, that's good. Well, I can't stay perched up there, that's against my rules. Come on. Cat also doesn't like to get the sweep away. Shows fairly good taste and judgment for a feline. Why can't I get the magic for this? Alright, I'm coming through. There goes my Atronak. I'm going to need to jump. No? Phew. That thing would kill me in one shot. Ending this entire Let's Play. Wow, it's dawn already. Time flies when you're crossing half the province with the noxious ancient vampire. There she is, she's stuck. Well, she should probably get unstuck when we get to that boat. More attention than I would like to attract near this place, but we can perhaps rely upon their stupidity. We can always count on the stupidity of elves. Don't mind me. I feel like the vampires would probably be preying upon these elves who might take issue with that, but apparently not. They don't mind or investigate where this gigantic castle is over there, and the vampires apparently leave them alone in return. Or something. Moderately cool quest that you do there, actually. But probably won't be doing that in this character. Wouldn't really make sense. Yeah, good. Just a fox. Well, here's the boat that takes us out to that castle. I don't think you can actually swim there, but I could be wrong. And apparently, I'm just gonna hop in this frickin' boat.
Undead have regained their comfortable lead atop my kill list. They're not everywhere like they were in Oblivion, but still the most common enemy in the game.
And that is where we shall end this episode. Have a great day, everyone.